Live from the Van Aken District Market Hall in downtown Shaker Heights, it's the Fabulous Boomer Boys anniversary show.
1 year.
Woo! 1 year. Here we are, Bruce. Two boys from South Euclid, broadcasting live from Shaker Heights, Ohio.
Well, what's your name, Bob? Tell them who you are.
Oh, I'm Bob Snyder, and this is Bruce Bogart. And we are the Fabulous Boomer Boys, and we've been doing this now for 1 year.
And we've been friends since the 4th grade. Not an easy task.
Not easy, not easy, for either one of us, for sure. Okay, usually we spend a little time talking about what we've been doing and what's been going on. And tonight we're going to cut it shorter because we've got a real special guest that we want to spend our half hour with. But I do want to say, those of you tuning in for the first time, that the Fabulous Boomer Boys decided we needed a bigger venue tonight for our anniversary show. And Tyler and Liz, our camera people, will show you the crowd we have here tonight. One of the reasons when we did the show at Corky and Lenny's, we couldn't fit all these people in. So we want to thank all of you for coming here. And give yourself a big hand for showing up for here tonight, all right?
And one more thing. We did not sacrifice security for this show. Alan's here to protect us all, our security guard. So I say let's get on with it.
And we do want to especially thank the people here from the Van Aken district. And if you haven't been here yet, it's a fantastic shopping area that they built in Shaker Heights. The people in Beechwood are all upset about it. I think they're jealous, but this is
downtown Shaker Heights.
Downtown Shaker Heights is what they want to call it. But anyway, it's a lot of fun to come here. A lot of special boutique shops and this market center. We're in the market district, I guess so they call it.
In Market Hall.
Okay, they've got.
Let's get on with it. I want the guest out here. Come on.
All right, here we go. 1 year ago, when we started our show, we needed a blockbuster guest so people would watch. Because when we were talking about doing this, we told somebody, well, we're going to be doing this show on YouTube. And the gentleman that was helping us put it together said, well, who the heck's going to watch you two guys? And Bruce and I looked at each other.
And that's what my wife said, as a matter of fact.
Right. So we said, who is going to watch us? So he said, we better get some good guests. So we hit it out of the park with the first guest. So we asked her to come back. She said yes. From our very first show, Cleveland's one of the all-time great television personalities, Robin Swoboda.
Hello, boys.
Whoa!
Thank you for inviting me to your anniversary show.
It is for us. I hope for you too. I was a little skeptical after having you on once that you would come back.
Well, my friend Sandy and I planned a day of it. We got here earlier this afternoon, and as we were sitting here waiting for the show to start, I complimented her on her shoes because I hadn't noticed her shoes. And she said, thank you. They were $500.
Whoa.
Wait.
Now, what's funny about this?
Well, you know what? She's in Shaker Heights. We're in Shaker Heights now with the show. You know?
Well, her sister bought them for her, if I may.
Oh, okay.
Because her sister is wonderful. I have the sisters who do nothing but take. She has a sister
That's
that
not nice.
gives.
That's not the image you project.
What?
Of being
That I
so
have
nice.
sisters?
You just threw your sisters under the bus.
They live in Missouri. They won't see
Oh,
this.
they won't watch it.
So anyway.
All right.
Okay.
The last time we had John.
I just want to say, though, we got here, neither one of us had any money because I left my wallet at home because I had to schedule my colonoscopy for Friday.
You go.
Well, it's just a consult. And they needed my insurance card, and so I left my wallet out, and Sandy just grabbed a few dollars, thinking that she didn't grab her anyway.
Let me say, nothing says baby boomer generation more than colonoscopy. Absolutely.
Yeah. And pulling out your insurance card. So it's not Medicaid yet, or Medicare.
I think Bruce will tell you you're not the first celebrity that came on our show and forgot their wallet, but that's okay. We're used to it.
I didn't mean to insult my friends.
No,
we haven't had a glass of wine.
Okay. So, what do you think of the Van Aken district?
Very nice.
I'm sure you have. You live out in God's country, out in Medina
out in
somewhere.
southern Medina County, but the sad part of it is nobody will just give us anything on credit.
Well,
I'm like, could I open up an account here? And they're like, no, we just
Well,
take
don't they know who
credit
you
card.
are? I mean, can't that get you somewhere?
I told them I was Wilma Smith, but it didn't get me anywhere.
Okay. The last time you were on the show,
Yes.
and we had a great time with you.
Is there a reason why my chair is closer to yours? Because I
Yes,
feel bad
there is a
because
reason.
Bonnie
Yes.
is right here watching us like a hawk.
I
Wait,
know.
you mentioned
I
you
know.
mentioned
She-
you
and she
mentioned
should be.
the shoes, the $500 shoes.
Yes.
Bob, because you were coming, is wearing what do you call those? Those no-tuck shirts.
Untucked shirt. I am very bad.
Very nice.
Right?
And look at the little plaid on the.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, very nice.
All right.
So you look
Okay.
fetching.
For you, absolutely.
Bob.
Okay, so the last time we had you on, and you were our guest, we really rambled about, because I watched the show, and we really rambled, but it was so entertaining to watch you do everything, the different topics that we got into.
Yes.
But a couple of them we kind of left hanging. So tonight, I thought maybe we'd go back to some of those. And
Like what, Bob?
well, in particular, you were talking about how you had done some online dating, and we're thinking about writing a book about it.
Yes.
Okay, you told us one of your stories.
Yes.
So it's been a year now. Any online dating stories you'd like to share tonight? Oh.
No, I gave that up.
Oh, you did?
I had. Which story did I tell you? Did I tell you about the shrimp?
The shrimp,
it
the
was
shrimp guy. Yeah, right, the shrimp guy. Yeah.
There was another guy that I met, and he was. He said, "I might as well tell you I have tattoos," and I could see the knives peeking out of his rolled-up sleeves. So I figured, yeah, he's got tattoos. Well, then he undoes his shirt and he starts showing me all these tattoos down here and then here, and then he opens up his shirt and he had a broken heart over his heart tattooed that said "never again." I was like,
That's a
right.
veto right there, right? You
I
couldn't
guess
go it.
not.
No.
I guess not. So.
Oh,
And then there was the guy with the hip replacement. So, well, he
Well, wait,
said
wait.
he was taller than he was, and he could have been taller, but he had a terrible limp, and he said it was because he needed a new hip. And so, I don't know if that changes a person's height, but he said to me, oh, he said, "Do I look like my profile picture?" And I lied, and I said, "Exactly." and he said, "You?" He goes, "How old was that picture?" He did this little business
You're
of
kidding.
reeling in. And I went, well, I said, "You said that you were, 5'10". Clearly you aren't." He goes, "Oh, I've got a bad hip."
So, are you saying that you didn't lie or finesse your facts a little when you filled out the profile?
No,
You're kidding me.
no,
You just figure I'm Robin Swoboda. They'll all want me.
no, Bruce, that's not
Bruce.
fair. No,
Oh, come on,
no,
it's a fair
no,
question.
no.
That's
My
what
sister
Bob
got-
does.
I
That's
guess
what-
she won't be here a third time.
Yeah, forget the second anniversary show.
Yeah.
No, so
Can you
no.
believe I've been friends
no.
with her since fourth grade?
I
I've
can't
done
believe
this?
it, and it
I know,
ends
I know.
tonight.
And-
This
no.
has gone on long enough.
No,
You know, enough. I'm the product of a broken home. My mother had a bad ear, and I cannot take much more of this. It hurts.
We'll be nice. We'll be nice.
See you next September.
You look nice in your tucked-in shirt.
Oh!
What color is that shirt?
Turquoise?
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 That's good. He's never worn that before.
And nor will I again. All right, get on with
It
it.
brings
Alright.
out the blue in your eyes.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, you know what
I'm
I didn't
perspiring.
ask you last time
Yes.
when you were on our show, because you've worked with some pretty famous people around. I couldn't believe when CBS hired Gayle King to do their morning show hosting, and she used to be a co-host with you on a show.
Yep.
Tell me a little about Gayle King. Can you?
She can't say it. She cannot say it.
Well, no.
I was
she's-
right. I knew it.
She's Oprah Winfrey's best friend.
Right.
And Oprah used to send her flower arrangements. We did a show called Cover to Cover,
Right.
and for NBC, and these flower arrangements were as long as this table. I mean, it was amazing, and I got nothing, but that's okay. So, because I don't know Oprah, but
Well, yeah,
she
but-
was fine. She was fine.
Did you ever meet
Yeah,
Oprah?
She was no, just saw her flowers. The funniest story is that we went on the Today Show, and I had actually worked with Katie Couric in Miami, but Katie was out on maternity leave, and Faith Daniels was filling in. So, and rumor had it that Faith Daniels was worried about me taking over her spot for NBC. So I don't know if it had anything to do with it or not, but I had a horrible cold, one of those bad summer colds, and I was pregnant, so I didn't want to take anything because I didn't want to, harm the baby. So I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I get to makeup, and they get us on, and Faith Daniels asked me one question, and everything else she asked Gail.
Oh.
I mean, everything. And so Brian Wagner and I were married at the time. We were newlyweds, actually. And we'd just been married, 6-7 months. I got pregnant.
You were pregnant
2 months after we got
okay,
married.
all right.
Okay, just wanted
We're all
to-
adding
yes,
up.
okay.
We're all adding
I
this
know,
up. You know
I
that.
know.
Yeah. Okay.
So, is that my hearing aid? No, I
No,
don't wear
no,
one.
you-
Okay, just being funny. So anyway, her married name at the time was Bumpus. She was married to a lawyer named Bumpus, so she was really Gail Bumpus. And Brian said, and it was so funny because he referred to her on the show as Gail, all about me Bumpus. And so we got a charge out of that. The next day I'm in the elevator riding up to whatever floor it was at NBC. Some lady gets on the elevator and she's just staring at me, just staring. And I can be a little sassy, and I looked at her and I go, "You think you recognize me, don't you?" And she doesn't say anything, she just keeps staring, and I said, "I was sitting next to Gail King when she was interviewed on the Today Show yesterday."
Oh.
She didn't crack a smile, but I did.
But you
So
got
anyway,
it. But you got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard when you're Oprah Winfrey's best friend. So
Even back then she was.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's been a few years. Since,
yeah,
Oh.
that was 1991.
The beauty about you is that you left Cleveland. And this is one of the things we talk about on our
That doesn't
baby
sound
boomer.
right. That does not
No,
sound
I-
right.
I-
The beauty of you is you left
You
Cleveland.
left
No,
Cleveland.
but you came back. That's the
I
beauty
knew-
is that you came
I
back.
knew you were going there.
No, the beauty was you came back because we've had other people here on our show. We talk about how baby boomers have reinvented themselves. Lee Fisher is a perfect example. He was a politician. Now he's the dean of the law school here in Cleveland, and he actually talks politically like you'd want him to talk.
Yes.
Okay, but I think leaving Cleveland, being in somewhere like Boston, being in New York, doing nationally syndicated shows, and then you came back here. I think, to me, that speaks very well of her and of Cleveland. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah,
wouldn't.
yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. As I get older, I think about the pearly white sand of Florida or something. But this has always been home to me. Even back in I came in '86.
From St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yes.
Right?
Over
A
the
lot of
Pony
people don't know
Express.
that. Yeah.
Well, there's a sign that says where the Pony Express began and Jesse James ended. And somebody spray painted, and nothing has happened since. And that's basically true. But I was offered jobs at WRC in Washington and WPVI in Philadelphia and ABC in New York and a TV station in Los Angeles during the 80s when I was doing the sports show with Ahmad Rashad. And I never wanted to leave Cleveland. I loved Cleveland so much. I love the people. I love the grit. I loved their passion for the Browns. I loved everything about it, except those gray days, which are a little hard to
right.
take.
Well, none of us like the gray days,
Right.
but on the other hand, we don't like those hurricanes they're talking about
Exactly.
either. in Florida, right?
We don't worry about our homes floating away overnight.
No.
None of
No,
that stuff.
none of that stuff.
No, that doesn't happen. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have any of that stuff. You know what? I could take this town. It's not
I know,
so bad.
and we're going to the Super Bowl this year.
You know what?
Well, we hope so. Well, we hope so.
Yes.
Make your deal. Make your deal.
What?
If we go to the Super Bowl, if we don't go to the Super Bowl, you come back here next anniversary. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right.
All right.
And I got some concerns about it.
This is a lawyer always thinking
Yeah.
there's a way to get you to do what he wants you to do. Okay. All right. We're just gonna keep rattling on here because
All right.
we like doing that with you. And Akron Beacon Journal. Okay. You write for them.
I do.
A column for them. And this past Sunday's article, I think, really kind of talked to me. Talk a little bit about that. You're better at telling us what it was about than I am. I think.
About the hair?
About the hair. Yeah. Yeah. That's.
Well, my friend and I were rushing to the RTA because we don't like parking downtown. So we were rushing to the RTA Cudell station in Cleveland.
And if you live around here, you can take the Van Aken Rapid down there.
Yes,
right?
yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right.
But we're way out in Medina County, so we drive up, and we would have gone to the Brook Park station, but it's down. So she's running because she knows it's coming, and because of the app or whatever, and I have to stop and take a picture of what I see on the sidewalk. At first I thought it was a snake, but it was really a long ponytail, a long black braided ponytail that was like an S on the sidewalk. And I think, how did that get there? I'm always fascinated by things that are someplace totally out of place, and I wonder the story behind them. When I was working at Channel 3, I used to find weaves in the road, and I think, were they just dancing, and their hair came off? Because that happened. My mother worked in radio. She was behind the scenes, and they had their Christmas party one year, and the morning disc jockey's wife was dancing. She'd had a little too much eggnog or rum punch, and so she's dancing, Watusiing, and her wig just Watusied right off her head. And she scooped it up and put it on, and she put it on backward. So there were little hairs up here, and all the big hairs were back here. And she just kept dancing. So they could have danced their hair off. I don't know. The random shoe.
Shoes. That's a good one, right? Bruce, you walk down the street
I haven't heard about
sometimes.
your article yet. I want to hear what the article's about.
Well, it's about finding random things.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you can see a shoe.
Yeah.
One of these expensive Converse shoes.
Yeah.
Sitting there, the left
Right.
shoe of somebody.
Right outside of Disneyland, the happiest place in the world. Now, did they go in with one shoe, or did they come out with one shoe? I mean, it's like, how does this happen? There was a woman once, this didn't make my column, because it was in once before about an unrelated topic, but it was about a woman came to my morning show when I was on Fox 8, and she said she was driving through Medina County, and it was kind of dark because she was getting to her son-in-law and daughter's house early because they were all coming up as a family. And she said people kept pointing at the front of her car, and she thought she had a headlight out. So when she gets to her son-in-law's house and daughter's house, she looks, and there is a duck stuck in her grill by the beak. And she said it was still alive. And she said, I have no idea how it got there. And she said, but my son-in-law said it's going to be fine. And I go, that's great. And he's behind her going, but how did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the oddities of life and things that we just don't pay
And
attention
I thought this
to.
is something Bruce would really relate to, because it seems like a Seinfeld kind of thing.
Well, I'm thinking about the one shoe. I figured, how bad would you feel if you found out it was from a guy with one leg? How terrible would you feel? You're making fun of one shoe. Some guy's hopping around on one leg.
But why would he take his one shoe off his one leg?
Yeah.
Well, he lost his shoe.
Like Cinderella.
Yeah. Cinderella, another good answer.
Another good. You like my answer.
What do you? I'm impressed that you read the Akron Beacon Journal.
Well, I read it because of Robin.
I appreciate that, because up until a year
That's
ago...
why I'm sitting closer to you, Bob.
Right.
Well,
Thank
listen,
you.
up until a year ago, he didn't read unless there were pictures. That's just the way it was.
I have read, Robin, I got to tell you, we've had a number of authors on our show, and Bruce is not kidding about that. I did very little reading in college. I hate to admit it. Cliff Notes.
Or high school.
Cliff Notes is my
or junior
favorite.
high.
Right, yeah.
Or elementary school.
But-
or Hebrew school. Go ahead.
When we do this show, I found that when we have the different authors on, I ought to probably read their book. And so many times I have found I wish I would have read these books earlier in life.
Oh, yeah.
There's so many great authors just in the greater Cleveland area.
Sure.
Right. And he's right. I've read more books in this past year than I probably had my whole college career.
And you've loved it.
And I have. I really
Yeah,
have.
really.
Are you a reader?
I don't read novels. I had enough drama in my life. I want to know how it ends before I read it. So that's my thing.
You need to know how it ends.
I read nonfiction only. I don't want any surprises. I want to put my head on my pillow at night and not worry what's going to happen on page 47 or whatever.
No romance novels then?
I got romance in my life.
Case closed, right?
All right.
There you go.
Yep. All right.
So, the Akron Beacon Journal article appears is there almost
Every
every
other
Sunday?
Sunday.
Every other
Sunday, yeah.
Oh, that's why I didn't.
They
see
have a
it.
very tight budget, so
Yeah.
they can only afford me every other Sunday.
Well, we hope they don't go the route of the Youngstown paper. Is that the one
No,
that just?
no, Beacon Journal.
It
Boy,
is-
they scooped up a lot of awards.
Yeah.
A lot of awards for the Cleveland Press Club. And I won one. I won two. Actually, I won first and third place. And I didn't even know I had submitted anything, but my my then editor, had
When
submitted
was that?
something
Recently?
a couple months ago.
So when
Yeah.
you get an award, what do you get? A plaque? What do they give you?
I got a plaque.
Where
I got
is
a
it,
plaque
where
and a
is it in
piece
your
of-
home? You got to hang it somewhere.
No, I don't.
You
I
need
don't.
you need to send us a picture of it so we can put it on our page. Absolutely.
I won an Emmy, and the only time I displayed it was in the bathroom because I thought that was just funny to put it in the
So
bathroom.
everybody
but
comes to your house, right?
I don't really care about awards.
I appreciate that, and
I
it's
know.
great. But for our show, it'll be good for us. It'll be good for us to hang your plaque.
All right.
So he appreciates that because he's never won too many awards. Now, I, being a softball Hall of Famer, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wait a minute.
Beechwood
Locally,
men's softball.
locally. We've got in
Beechwood
our
men's
audience
softball.
World Softball Hall of Fame right there, Stuart Levine.
There he is. That's right.
Ah.
Well, Stu, you know what I'm saying. If you have an award like that, you're proud of it. You know, Bruce doesn't have one, so you know I understand Bruce.
Which is why he runs the show.
No, that's
There
one
it
of the
goes.
reasons. Just one of the reasons that I read. Okay.
I am hotter than the Dickens.
It's the lights.
It's the lights.
And
Yeah. And,
no,
yeah.
all right.
It's either that or Bob's no-tuck shirt.
Okay.
I think that's
All
what it
right.
is.
So here's another thing I read about you that I love.
Keep going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Hotel California, Joe Walsh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you've been through some tough times.
Like everybody. right?
medically.
Yes. Yes.
And I think anybody that has followed her knows this. And we're going to bring the show, not bring the show down a little because
No.
everything's good.
Everything is great.
But that's what we want to tell everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I'm married. My wife's gone through some of these things where they go to get a mammogram or something, and next thing you know, they say there's a calcification. Women out here can understand what I'm talking about, I'm sure. And you know what? There's nothing but fear that goes through you.
Yeah.
Because until they actually do the biopsy and take the tests, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And they scare the hell out of you because they say, well, there's something there that wasn't there the last time we took that mammogram.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So I know you went through that, and
It's interesting because 2 years ago in March of 2017, I was talking to somebody about breast cancer. Her daughter had breast cancer, and I said, the numbers are 1 in 8 women. I always wonder if my number will come up. And that weekend, I just decided to do a little self-exam, and I went right to the spot, and I felt what was like a pencil eraser. So I called my doctor, who had retired 3.5 years before, because that's how often I go to the doctor.
Right.
And so they referred me to somebody, and I got in, and I knew that it was cancer. I just knew it. There was not a doubt in my mind, because like in January, and I know this sounds crazy, but in January I was standing in my home, and I remember exactly where I was standing, and I thought, I have cancer. Now, how do you go to the doctor and say, I think I have cancer? I mean, they'll think you're the craziest, hypochondriac in the world, but
Right.
I just thought, I think I have cancer. So when I found it in March, I was not surprised at all. And they did a biopsy, and it came back positive for stage 1. And so they removed it. But when my doctor had to tell me that it was cancer, she cried, but I didn't. I was, and let me back up and say that everywhere I went, I kept seeing the scripture, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. I was at Bob Evans with a friend and her dad for lunch, and some lady comes in and sits down with her grandson or something, and he's fiddling around, and she says, will you be still? And I just told her this story, and I'm like, even people at Bob Evans are telling me to be still. So I had the stillness and peace about it. So this last year, I went for my 2-year, and that's where the story comes in about Joe Walsh and Hotel California, which is my all-time favorite song. And so I'm sitting in traffic, and I'm playing my air guitar, because I'd already played the drums the first go-around, because, construction and all that jazz. And the phone call comes in, and I'm thinking, do I take it? Do I take it? Because I had to have a. And here's another good piece of information. So the Cleveland Clinic wanted me to have I had a 3D mammogram, but they wanted me to have a breast MRI. And because I'm considered self-pay, because they don't recognize my insurance company, they told me it would be $5,000 up front.
Oh boy.
Well, I don't, really have $5,000 sitting around. So I was talking to a friend of mine who's a doctor, and he said, I routinely recommend patients get MRIs, prescribe MRIs for them, and they never are that much money. He said, you should check around. Well, he knew somebody in Boardman at a place called Southwoods Imaging. I called down there, $850.
That's a bit of a savings, yeah.
$5,000 to $850 for a self-pay person. So, and I'm worried that it's going to be an ironing board and a guy with a Polaroid laying on the garage floor. That, $850 to $5,000. It's not exactly. He's got a miner's helmet on with the lights laying up there. So it was a beautiful facility. The people were so kind and so nice, and the woman who did it was wonderful and explained everything to me. So that happened on a Tuesday. So Wednesday, I was driving to Cleveland, and I was in the traffic downtown to do the Bill Smith show, the Retirement Solutions show. And I'm singing, and I'm having a great time, and the phone call comes in, and I recognize the number, and I think, do I get it now and risk, or do I wait? And so I took it, and they said, it's negative. You're good. You're good to go. Come back in 6 months. Yeah. So. A long story, but shop around for your medical procedures. I'm telling you, I'm a big proponent of that. So
you did mention for people that aren't aware, you're on TV every week, a couple of times these days,
yes,
anyway,
yes,
right?
Yes.
What's that show you do? You're the big financial guru now.
Bill Smith is.
Oh, okay.
It's a W.A. Smith Financial, and the show is called Retirement Solutions with Bill Smith. And he is a wizard. I mean, he knows everything. I've been doing this show for almost 5 years. I still don't know. I still don't know. I was always a fan of buy high and sell low. Investing in pop cans, because aluminum is never gonna drop.
Well, let's be totally honest. One of the reasons they pick you for the show is because of your credibility. No, I mean,
That's
really.
right.
No, right, Bruce? I mean, no. Am I right? If Robin is talking about a product, you're going to think about it. There's no doubt about it.
Thank you.
You're just going to do that. No, I mean that. That's one of the reasons we
Much
needed
more,
you
much
here.
more than Gayle King, by the way.
Much more.
Much
Much more. I would trust you over Gayle King any day. Absolutely.
Oh, very funny.
But so you do that show, and then I've got to figure there's people that come to you with those kind of proposals all the time, though. They do commercial work and that kind of thing. So you're kind of picky. I mean, you just don't do anybody, right?
Well, I don't want to, water my brand down, as and I do have to believe in the product or the service. So
That's great.
yeah. So I could use more money, but hey, I'm a lot happier now that I'm not doing news, and I'm not. And Channel 3 and I have talked about doing a YouTube show. I wanted to do.
Hey, you mentioned that the last time. Yeah.
I wanted to do it out of my home and call it "How Did You Get in My House?"
That's great.
It's
is
great.
great.
Like, I could be sitting there in my pajamas and fuzzy slippers, and I could say, "Well, let me make you some coffee since you're here," and I'll whip up a coffee cake, and and then Channel 3 said, "We'll produce it for you," and I'm like, "That's great. That's
So what
less
are you
work
waiting
for me." Well, we decided that we'd do it from Channel 3.
Oh, so already they tell you they don't want to do what you want to do.
Right. So we
Go
can't.
to the station. Do what you want to do. You've been around the block. Enjoy yourself. Embrace what you want to do. I'm right. I'm telling you.
There you go. You ought to hire Bruce as your
Here's
agent.
what you do. The first scene, you open your front door like Ozzie Nelson.
Yeah.
And say, "Come on in." And then you talk and do whatever you want to do. Be comfortable. Screw Channel 3.
Well, you guys can. Oh.
Oh, wait, we might want some other people
All right.
on.
But I'm serious. You're going to do what you want to do. I mean, you're not 25. Enjoy it.
I'm not.
You're 32. Fair enough. Can I get out of that one?
Yeah, very much. Very much.
All right. one more time before we go.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Because we don't want to keep you here longer but we want to keep you here
Because
longer.
I'm cooking.
No, but we
I
don't.
feel like those French fries under or a piece of chicken, a roasted chicken. At
You're
the
not the
supermarket
first
or
female
at
guest that said
Costco.
that. You're not the first female guest said that to me. But anyway,
My market price is going down the longer I sit here.
when we talk about St. Joseph, Missouri,
Uh-huh.
and I'm thinking about this because in a couple of weeks I'm going to be going with some friends to a birthday celebration from our class here at Brush High School. Okay? Did you ever go back to one of your high school reunions?
I went back to my 10-year reunion.
10-year, okay.
Yeah, but I haven't been back since. However, thanks to Facebook,
Okay.
I have, connected with kids from grade school and junior high and high school because, people kind of scattered and such. And it's just great. It just warms my heart. So.
I have a question. May I?
Yeah, man.
Are you friends with Gail King on Facebook?
No, Gail King never answered my.
Yeah.
I sent her Christmas cards and tried to get in touch with her because our show ended very abruptly, and I was happy about it because I am not a fan of New York City. I'm really not, and that whole network thing, because I would say stuff on the air. Maybe this is why. And our producer would come clicking out with her high heels and say, "Robin, you can't say that," and they accuse me of talking about
The
Cleveland
beauty of
too much.
YouTube and the Fabulous Boomer Boys. We say what we want here on
That's
YouTube.
right.
And you should do the show you want.
All right, I'm doing it, Bruce.
That's
We'll
it.
plug it for you right here.
Everybody, what do you think? Anniversary show, Robin Swoboda? By the way, I didn't say it at the beginning because I didn't want Bruce to give me a hard time the whole show. But you look great.
I do.
Okay. Am I kidding? Come on. Because, Robin,
I
I
love
mean,
you like that.
no, we got to be honest. I mean, you've been on the air for a while here. And,
I'm 60 years old.
Oh, my
my
God.
Lord. 60 years old.
The moan of
Who
the
had
crowd.
60 out there on the pool? Who had 60?
That's it. No, my goodness. Oh, well, you.
61 in December. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I have a granddaughter.
That's right.
She'll be
cute
two.
granddaughter.
She'll be two
So
in
cute. I've seen
September.
pictures
Oh,
of her. Yeah.
She
She's a
looks
doll.
like Thing 1 or Thing 2 on those. What is it? Dr. Seuss. That
Yeah.
hair, because if you take her hair down, it's like
Beyond me.
It's like the state of Iowa, all black that was on her
That's
head.
great.
It's just huge. So
Right.
she keeps me going, and
Well, you've got a lot of things still going on.
I do.
And
Thank you.
and you haven't lost any of your sense of humor. And through this medical issues that you've had and stuff, I'm so happy.
That's the only thing that gets you through, really.
Yeah.
You
No.
know.
Well, your
Being
faith
positive
too, and I know
yeah.
your faith because I've somebody in my office mentioned to me when I told you you're going to be on that his wife has a lot of respect for you because she sees
Aw.
you at church or whatever, those kind of things.
Thank
and
you.
and
Thank you.
and I have to say, I actually had Robin is interested in a lot of different faith things because she spent Passover Seder at my house one time.
Yes.
And not because you're converting, because you just wanted to see what it was like, right?
Yes.
We had
I
a
did.
wonderful evening
Yeah.
doing that.
There,
Yeah.
there. Yes.
Pebbles,
Yes.
right.
I had I have heard, though I have not been there, but there is a messianic congregation in Bath, Ohio,
Okay.
and they have their services on Saturday night. And I always say I'm going to go and check that out
Yeah, that's-
because I think that would be so interesting because they,
Yeah,
incorporate.
for you, not for me.
you.
No, no, I don't believe in that stuff. No, for you, for you it'd be good, right? But anyway, okay.
Maybe
All
as a
right.
favor to me, just once.
Well, with you, I would go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, with you.
Okay.
Then I'd
Okay.
explain to you why they're messed up. But then I would go with it. Yeah. So-
This show is going in a whole different direction.
Oh yeah, we can go all over the place, but that's the beauty of it. That's
I
why
know.
we're the Fabulous Boomer Boys.
I know.
And we are going to be asking all of you that are watching this, hit like, subscribe, and for sure we're going to be coming back on September 24th with our next episode, and we'll have more information on where that's going to be. I do want to mention two things in particular, because I know you know these two people. On October 1st, we're going to have Little John from Big Chuck
Oh.
and Little John. He's going to be our guest.
Ask him about the movie that I got involved in this crazy thing. It's a Spaceship One or something, and it's a bunch of drama nerds like me. I was a drama nerd,
Okay.
and they're doing this crazy. Just it's hilarious.
Write it down, Bob.
All right.
And
we'll
little John,
remember.
he's I think is he John the Meanie or something like that. He's and Big Chuck is in it too. So
Oh,
it's going to be a hoot.
okay.
And I play Dr. Patience Neverlive.
Sounds like a Big Chuck and Little John.
It doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're shooting tomorrow.
And on October 15th, a friend of yours is going to come back, also a return visit for us. That's Jan Jones.
Oh, good.
And I know you and Jan.
I love
so,
her.
So we've got some big shows coming up. The 24th will be the next one. And Bruce, you like the last word?
Well, I just want to say, Kathleen Grady, who's always sitting over there, feel better. We miss you this week. Thank you to Alan for protecting us once again.
Yes.
And thank you. I'll see you next September.
All right.
All
See you
right.
in September.
Everybody-
Now, do we pass the hat?
We will. We'll pass it. Robin Swoboda, thank you so
I need
much.
gas
Thank
money.
you so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Mwah.